action next, and even without the belts on the line, the Snarl Tag Team Champions, the Psychodelixx, face a sizable challenge tonight against the Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Not to worry, gentlemen. Sylvia's assured me the Freak and the Wild Thing have Hall and Nash figured out. The following non-title tag team contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 620 pounds, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, the Outsiders. The Outsiders, Hall and Nash. What a long and storied history these guys have everywhere they've been, and that includes here. They once worked for Scott Bell as part of Hogan's NWO, and like the Hulkster, has been doing damage control on their careers ever since. Doesn't detract from their talent inside that ring though. But again, the Psychodelixx have come ready to compete tonight. You know Sylvie runs the tightest ship with the strong hold.
Another fun fact, bad as they are, Hall and Nash have never held RWL Legends Division gold. Ever.
It's not because they haven't tried. The Outsiders have been part of several tag team tournaments, but just never seem to make it to the finals, always ending up eliminated beforehand. I think it's just gotta be bad luck, because they're not incompetent.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I was thinking myself.
Their opponents accompanied by Sylvia Strong at a combined weight of 476 pounds. They are WL Star Tag Team Champions, the Freak, and Wild Thing Wayne, the Psychodelixx.
And hey, man, forgive me, I clean forgot to ask you, GB, what was it like, man, standing ringside with Sylvia during Gary Galaxy's match at Rage last week?
It's wild. I was gonna hang backstage, like I do sometimes, when Sylvia puts the grab on me and says, "Come on, Cakes, don't you want to see it firsthand?" It was great. Except for the getting wiped out by a falling Mad Dog McKay part.
Mad Dog McKay wiped you out. Yeah, that was pretty wild. Cakes. Yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around that one.
Yeah, Cakes. Doesn't Danny L have some affectionate name for you?
I'm not saying anything. I'm taking the fifth. All right, it's the Freak and the bad guy starting us off. Willie Johnson rings the bell. Here we go. Scott Hall. Two-handed chokes the Freak, drops him. The Freak gets back up real quick. They lock up. Slam, face first to the canvas. Scott Hall sets it up here. Abdominal stretch with the leg thrown in. Kevin Nash standing by to interfere, but hip toss from the Freak. Scott Hall back up on his feet. The Freak right there, hard whip to the ropes, and ooh, man, whoa! He needed the midsection and a kick to the head. Nice combination as the Wild Thing Wayne Take takes over. Whoa, man, running boot to the face to Scott Hall. Wayne Take with a DDT. Bounce Scott Hall on the crown of his head. Wild Thing with a hard right. Keeping Scott Hall down as best he can. A right, a slap, another right, and a drop kick to the knee. Scott Hall back on the canvas again. Wild Thing rounds him up. They lock up. Scott Hall is squirted to the corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes the Freak on the tag, and here comes the double team from the Psychodelixx. Hard whip to the ropes, double shoulder tackle. Takes Scott Hall down. The Freak with a stomp to the back. And a series of headbutts. Man, the Freak's got a hard head too. Oh, wow. The Freak goes for the cover and hooks the leg. 1, 2, nope. Scott Hall kicks out. The Freak rounds him up. Woohoo! Scott Hall counters. Kick to the midsection from the Freak. The Freak whips Scott Hall to the far corner, charges, misses, and the old man wound up, hung up in the tree of woe. Quickly finds his way out. Kick to the midsection again to Scott Hall. Another kick, another kick. Up over the shoulders into the fireman's carry. Slammed that. Oh man, drove the knee right into the upper back. Wayne Tague comes in. Sylvia Strong admiring the handiwork here. Wild Thing in control of Scott Hall, whips him into the corner. charges. He nailed him with the clothesline. Rebounds off the ropes and boom. Oh, man, hard right to the side of the head. The bad guy not doing too well right here. Oh, man, leg snap. Wild Thing turns his attention to Nash. Gets caught. Wild Thing was it right. Takes himself out onto the apron. As Kevin Nash drives his back into the apron. Here comes Scott Hall running bulldog to the Wild Thing. The chop. Winds up the... Oh, man. Nasty mule kick. Wild Thing counters. Locks up. Oh, man. Scott Hall counters again. Wild Thing driven into the barricade. Kevin Nash is out. Wild Thing gonna take a moment to snap out of it. Referee Willie Johnson still counting. Wild Thing Wayne Tate apparently momentarily stunned. And Scott Hall going after the Freak. Well now, Wild Thing Wayne Tate got his act back together, gets himself back in the ring. Locks it up with Scott Hall. Hard whip to the ropes. Up and down. Gravity falls. Well done. The Wild Thing rounds him up. Kick to the gut. Clubbing overhand right. Oh, man. Wild Thing slams his head down the canvas. Makes his way around the corner. The Freak is laid out. Wild Thing's on his own here. Off the top turnbuckle. Elbow across the chest. Here's a cover. Hooks a leg. 1, 2, 3, wrap this one up and take it on home. The Psychodelixx wrap it up in 4 minutes. Are you kidding?
That's crazy. The time, 4 minutes exactly. Your winners by pinfall, the Psychodelixx.
For minutes, are you serious with this right now?
Wow.
The Freak and Wild Thing, usually known for their 20-minute buzzer beaters, have just turned in their shortest tag team match of their RWL careers and did it against Hall and Nash. I repeat, Tex. Bad luck for the Outsiders. Bad karma or juju from their NWO days, ya think?
Well, if you believe in karma or bad juju for something done badly, their NWO days were pretty bad. Shaved Crystal Gabor's head and all that. Might be. Well, anyway, we still got more RWL Snarl coming up right after the break, so stick around.